Time for another episode of Circle of Trades. I'm Todd Steeler in studio. It is Travis Waldstein for Circle and Air Conditioning at Waldstein Plumbing. You know how I can tell it's you? Your name's right over your shoulder.
Shocker. Yeah, you can't fix who I am. So, and I got no glasses today, so no one recognizes my eyes. It's like, where, now you can see my eyes and you can see all the fat that hangs down over my eyes. So
I was going to make some comment about you looking like a sheepdog, but we'll let that go.
Well, sheepdog. Well, I got enough hair in my face to be a sheepdog, so but that's all right. So just remember, I have a face for radio, so I keep telling you that. So
well, that's why I put you on video.
Oh well, there you go. So
just so everybody can see it.
Yeah. Everybody's got to see this shit show once in their life, so it's all good. So
well, as we record these, and everybody's figured it out by now that we don't release them like at the same day that they're recorded, and we are. I know how you feel about basketball, which is you don't really care for it. But come on.
But when is the
Ben
Hawks
McCollum has done something that hasn't happened at Iowa this millennium.
Well, listen, you know what? Here's the deal. I was at 80. Iowa basketball ruined me. I think it's the first year Tom Davis. I think it was 87. They went to the Elite Eight. They were up 19 on UNLV at a halftime, and they freaking shit the bed. And then made to the Final Four. Okay, and UNLV, I think, ended up winning the title that year. But I mean, Iowa had them.
Oh yeah.
And
that was old Tarkanian was a coach there, right?
Yeah. Well,
used to chew on his towel.
Tark the Shark. Yeah, there ain't no doubt about it. Jerry Tarkanian. Anyway, no, I tell you, I sat down. I'm a huge Iowa fan. Watched wrestling over the weekend, and yes, we were 10 points behind Nebraska. But the way Iowa wrestled all year, as much as I don't like Nebraska, I'll take it. I'll take the crap this year because they outplaced where I thought they would. So I'm actually very happy, and we'll get you next year. It's okay. So, but basketball, yeah, I said I watched the game on Sunday. And you know what? I'm going to watch it. And, because I watched the women. Of course, the women lost yesterday. It's like, okay, but the way they played, I'm not surprised. But I watched the game, and I was like, man, I was getting ahead, and they got about tied at halftime. It's like, wow. And I thought, well, is they going to do it like they did in the second half versus Michigan or Illinois? And they kept coming, and And I'm going to tell you, I mean, they outplayed Florida. Florida was number one seed for a reason. I mean, obviously SEC, they lost the championship to Vanderbilt, good school. That was a huge win. That was probably the biggest win probably since the 87.
Yeah.
I mean, Iowa went 99 to the Sweet 16, except that Jeff Settles, I think, was on the team. I don't remember a whole lot else. It was a Tom Davis coach team. So, so it was back before the turn of the century. So, as much as I love to give Husker fans crap, since 87, I say 99 since Tom Davis left, I haven't been able to talk much about Iowa basketball. No, and that was a huge way. And then we get to play that team from Lincoln on Thursday night. How about that? So
I've been watching. I think it was Keith Murphy who had a video out about it, saying that Nebraska just can't catch a break. It doesn't matter what they do, they got to go through Iowa, and Iowa just keeps beating them. So we'll see, because they split during the regular season, and the game that Nebraska won was an overtime game, and that was the end of the last game of the season.
Yeah, it was last game of the regular season.
So this one should be interesting. I personally am watching the game deep in the heart of Husker country, so we'll see how this goes.
I'll be I won't be in Houston. I'll be in Dallas. So I said, so I'll be in Dallas. I got franchise meetings. Lucky me. So. But no, I'll be in Dallas. I said game starts at 6:10, so I'm leaving early on Thursday to go to Texas. So so I'll be down there for that. I'm excited about going down and go to see the game. Wish I was going to Houston, but if you think I'm hopping on a plane, you're freaking high. So just throwing that out there right now. But no, that should be a good game. It's got to. Here's what I want. Who's Peyton Sanford going to root for? He gonna root for his brother, or is he gonna root for his alma mater?
No, I don't know.
He'll probably watch that game. I have a feeling so, but no, it should be a good game. And for both programs, we know my affinity for Husker Nation. So, but honestly, for both, Nebraska's never been there. Iowa's been there for a long time. It's kind of fitting that they have to play each other.
Yeah. Well, and here's the kicker. I was talking with a buddy of mine just a couple of days ago before the game, and brought up that, because he was making a joke about how Nebraska's a basketball school now. And then he said something about Iowa, and I said, well, let's just not hold, don't count them out just yet. I mean, I know the stars have to align, and I know that they're going to have to shoot a tremendously high percentage, but I think they shot over 50% from the field for the game.
They did, but it was onside.
Yeah, and that's the strange thing, especially when you got some guy that's like 8'6" that's playing in the middle for Florida. And then he made a joke about how Florida was going to take us both out, because that was the expectation, was that Florida was going to beat Iowa and then Florida would beat Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
But nope, that didn't happen.
No, they didn't have.
And I knew that, what it is what it is, that Florida is a better basketball team. They are. They did not play up to their potential. That was a horrible play call defensively at the end of the game. And then another horrible play call coming back the other direction on the offense. So that, to me, that was a coaching issue.
If you base it based off the talent on the floor, Florida probably wins that game 9 out of 10 times, 100%, based off the talent that Florida's got versus talent Iowa's got. But coaching and McCollum getting them, I mean, McCollum's in year one of this year, folks. And I did some reading on some of the other points. Everybody's worried, what happens when we got Bennett Sturgis gone? The next Bennett Sturgis for Iowa is in the pipeline, folks. I'm going to tell you, you haven't heard about me and talked about me. The next Bennett Sturgis is in the pipeline for Ben McCollum in Iowa, because that's what he does. That's what he builds. That's what he did winning 4 or 5 national titles down at Northwest Missouri State, whatever it was. I mean, the guy can coach. If you listen to Mike Krzyzewski yesterday, he was on, I think, Dan Patrick, and he says, you know what, we would schedule a couple of years, we would schedule a Division II national championship at Duke. And he said he took us to the buzzer one of the games, and the other game was close. He goes, if you don't think McCollum can't coach, he says, you got another thing coming. So, I'm excited. This game's going to be interesting. Of course, my bias says I was going to win because we're playing with house money, but if one way or the other, we're probably end up playing Houston or Illinois, whoever wins. So it's kind of whatever. But yeah, it definitely adds more diesel fuel to the rivalry, which is always good. So.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm crossing my fingers that everybody behaves themselves over in where I'm going to be at. The last time I was over there for a game, it was an Iowa-Nebraska football game. And the Nebraska crowd was cheering sarcastically back then. They were fine. This time they feel like they've got something to root for. So I'm a little more nervous about being in there. But
hey, just wear your black and gold. That's all.
That's it. Yeah, I've got that. I got the black long sleeve T-shirt that I wear, and I've got the yellow Iowa cap. And we'll see what happens.
Oh, if you don't get sucker punched or thrown into jail, it's all good. So
I got your number, and you got bail money. We're good.
That is true. You're right. So
what's the latest going on over there at Air Serv and Waldstein Plumbing? Things happening?
It's spring. It's change. We're changing from winter to spring. I changed my underwear this week. Let's see.
I didn't realize it was that part of the quarter of the year yet.
Yeah, it's here. It just came last week. Once a quarter, whether you need them or not. So got some new tidy whities on. So no change. And change brings opportunity. For a while, like I said, we've been trying to figure out some stuff for a while, since probably last fall. With our office staff, we've been looking at field staff as well, and last Thursday and Friday, this just kind of all came together at once. I don't know how, but we said, we got we hired a CSR for our plumbing side, and then we hired another CSR for our HVAC side. well, really excited about that. The plumbing CSR's got a few years experience working in the plumbing trade as a CSR, so feel really really good about that position. Like I said, and then the HVAC side, we've needed another person since last fall. Wanted to find the right person. I feel like we found the right person with that, so I feel really good with that. Had an opportunity at an HVAC guy come in last week. He's a technician. He's from South Dakota. That is, and then we had a chance to pick up a long-standing journeyman plumber from Glenwood, which I'm really excited about. He's got lots of years plumbing experience, and you know, worked for a shop for a long time and just wanted to change. So pretty excited about that. And then I got myself my drain cleaners back. So, and he's got a helper. So, so we've been kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul with some people. So, actually a lot of stuff, on the plumbing side, a little bit on the HVAC side, but, change. We're coming into springtime. As I said, we're getting out of winter. First quarter always stinks. It's like Nebraska football. It stinks. You want to get past that stink. So, sorry, had to go there. But
no one's surprised.
Yeah, no one's surprised at all. So, but started second quarters next week, and lots of stuff going on, and so feeling pretty good today. Now tomorrow, call me at 4 o'clock this afternoon. I may not feel the same way, but yeah, I actually like with where things are at, and like I said, ready for what the spring and the summer, and there's a lot of stuff going on, so I'm pretty excited about it. So
yeah, it's the growth you guys have been seeing over there is impressive to me, and credit to you and credit to your son for making all of that happen, because Hayden's got a great work ethic, and he just keeps showing up time after time, and that's what it takes. You gotta be willing to dive in and just grind, and he's doing that.
Yeah, he's done very good with it, and decided. So so knock on wood, things continue going on. I know. I was talking about some stuff yesterday. We got the Mini X. I had to use it over the weekend out at my house. I had to dig a hole for something for my wife. And so they're loading that off today, and they got job sites where that's going to go. So that means that's making money. And, HVAC, we're getting some stuff dealt with. So as far as that's concerned, pretty excited about that. And, lots of stuff, lots of projects going on. So yeah, I'm actually good. I'll find something to complain about later. So
I know, because there's a usual flow to when you and I sit down and talk, and this is just taking me completely out of my game. Travis is happy. He feels good about stuff.
Yeah. Listen, no, I feel good. Like I said, it's been it's been good. Feeling, like I said, like where the direction things are going, and it's like anything else. There's bumps in the road, but listen, you got to take the good with the bad, and so that's kind of with where things are at. So, but like I said, the last week before I came out here, I was talking about, went up to Hitchcock Nature Center over the weekend. I was up looking at a job, and so me and my son and his wife and my grandkids, we went up there. And I'm gonna tell you what, that place was full on Saturday. And we're talking about, man, I'll tell you, we walked, we didn't do. Listen, I had my overalls and cowboy boots on. This is how prepared I was to go to Hitchcock. Okay, so
well, it was in the 90s on Saturday.
Well, Saturday morning was not in the 90s, because I would have not done this on Saturday afternoon. But was up there in the morning. We went up to we did a trail walk, and then went up on the tower and stuff. And man, it was just a really great day. Just couldn't believe all the people. I mean, there was literally, when I pulled up there was a line like 4 people deep just to pay to get in the park. So I got to find out about the whole season pass deal. I know you had Chad on. Didn't you say you talked to Chad this morning?
Yeah. Chad Gravy.
Yeah. We got to talk about that whole pass deal they got going on, because I think it's what, $25 a year, and you get like a seasonal pass or something.
There's different packages that you can get, and if it's just for a single park, I think that's what it is. If you want access to all the parks, I think it's $50. But it's a great deal, and the money goes to a really good cause. So. Used to be, and I'll complain about this, it used to be that when you would buy that, you would also get a couple of days of camping with that. You don't get that now.
You don't get that.
So, no. So I think it's an upgrade. The higher end ones.
Well, they got to continue to upgrade the ski lodge. So, that's, it's a big thing that they got up there, which is actually, I'd never been to ski lodge till about 2 months ago. I had to go up and look at something, and it's like, wow. Of course, you're not going to get me on skis. You might get me on a tube. You might get me on a tube, but you ain't getting me on those skis. I'm like, hell no. And
here's what I'm envisioning. Travis coming down the hill on a tube with a big, giant rooster tail of snow coming up behind it.
But no, I mean, there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of stuff up there. Like I said, been a while since I've been up there. Probably leadership class is non-work wise, the last time so it's been 7-8 years. But yeah, no, a lot of stuff, a lot of neat stuff. It's cool to see the park full. It's cool to see stuff going on. I mean, Pot County Conservation and the park system. I know, of course, they've got up at Arrowhead up in Neola, and I know they've got over at is it Bottom Bend over in Hancock? Is that what it is? So they got that over there too. And actually, I got to go to Gresses today and pick up some meat. So I bought a side of beef while it's still cheap.
cheap relatively.
Yeah, cheap relative. Yeah. So, but they've got that over there too. And actually, like I said, they do a good job with the park system here in Pot County, and I can't say enough positives about it and with what they do. And if you're living in there and you don't take advantage of it, and I don't take the advantage of it that I should, but really, we're pretty fortunate. There's a lot of places that don't have the system that we do here. And
what I love most about it, and I talked to just recently about this, that every one of the parks is a very unique place, and it gives you a different experience depending on what it is that you're looking for. Hitchcock is going to be the place where there's a lot of is the backcountry. You're really out in the wilderness and getting a good workout going up and down those hills. You go to Arrowhead. Arrowhead's more of a family experience. You've got the lake, you've got canoeing, you've got fishing, and the trails are less severe. Then you go to Bottom Bend, which to me is just relaxing. It sits right by the Nishnabotna River, and the trails are just flat going through, native prairie grass. And then if you want the old historic experience, you go to Old Town over at Macedonia, which is a very small park, but they've done work over there. And
that's a great place. That's a great place to fish, by the way.
So on the river there.
I like go. That's where I like go to fish, actually. So
and then
I shouldn't tell people that, but
and then the last thing, which there's no camping at, but if you go to the Narrows, which sits right on the river, that's you just watch the river go by, and you can have a family picnic or whatever out there, and they have archery out there too. So it's a great system that we have here in Pottawatomie County, and the staff. I mean, I just keep every time I meet somebody new, they have done such a great job of plugging the right people in the right place.
Yeah. Well, this kind of comes back, you talk about change, and here's the thing. We all work hard. I mean, everybody works hard. And if you're on a business or you working for some, you work hard. And so when you have your time off, you want to enjoy it, whether it's going and socializing or go and listen to music. But, if you want to get outside and enjoy nature stuff, the whole point is there's stuff locally. You don't have to travel a long ways. You can go down by Shenandoah. I know there's a park down there on Highway 2. Everybody talks about going out to Anita, going up to Harlan or Elkhorn up there.
Been to all of those.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, they're all great parks, but the whole thing is you don't have to leave. You don't have to go more than 20 miles from Council Bluffs to find most of these. And, that's the fantastic. But you get a chance and you get to relax. I mean, sometimes you have to relax and just get away and just not deal with the grind of life and business. It's good for the soul. And, my grandkids were like looking around like this. They're kind of going, well, what is all this stuff? So,
well, my hope is to be able to pull that off next week. And to bug out for a couple of days, go put a tent up and just sit and chill. And as long as the weather continues to cooperate, I'll probably get that done. this time of year, if I take a couple of days off midweek, there's not going to be anybody there.
Well, see, I need air conditioning. I need electricity. So, because I have sleep apnea, so I could possibly live without the air conditioning if I have a fan, but I will not live without electricity. So, I don't care
that's
if
everywhere though. You can other than you can't go to the tent sites at Hitchcock, but they all of these places have electric sites.
Well, my wife's got one of these. I bought one of these great big battery boxes. I guess that would probably be. What do I want to say? One of the battery boxes that are supposed to run for hours and hours. I guess probably for a night or two. I could probably run my sleep apnea machine. What is that called? It's it's like the last 24 hours you can fry with it. You can do everything. It's basically a battery pack. It's got a name. It's some bougie battery pack that I had to buy.
You need one of those that's got the solar panel on it that'll charge.
Oh yeah, it's got that too.
Yeah.
So
that'd be helpful.
Yeah, we got the big one, the little one. The little one don't work worth a crap. It lasts about 2 hours. Big one, you can run for a month. I think it still have charge. So, but
that's been on my list as getting more things, and then pay Elon some money and get Starlink internet and do all of that stuff. But for right now, just finding a place to disconnect and leave the phone in the car and not have to mess with it. I don't know if I could be able to pull that off or not. It seems like it's surgically connected to me now.
Yeah, but, well, like I said, yeah, it is. It's kind of like your nose. It's surgically connected whether you want it or not. So it's all good.
So this is Travis in a good mood.
Better take it. Because I'll probably be pissed off next week.
Well, usually you're coming out of a training session before we record these things, and somebody said something or done something, and it's
Tuesday morning's an interesting time in my shop. That's all I'll say. We started at 7 with meeting, and as we have everybody in here, and then we got stuff going on through the day. So yeah, it's definitely interesting. So, but not much today. It's all good, Todd. I can't complain. Well, even got some good news from my county engineer, which I'm not going to say anything about yet, but you had that conversation a couple weeks ago, and he had some. Like I said, until it happens, I'm going to
until it happens.
But like I said, decent news is better than no news. So
that would explain part of the smile on your face then too. I mean, if that because that I don't know how long ago it was you heard it, but news like that'll stick around. We'll announce that later.
I got that far. Don't worry. When it happens, I'll be able to do a video of this deal. But but anyway. But in the meantime, so it's been a good. Probably should leave on that note, Todd. It'd be sure to be like, well, Travis ain't pissed off today. Don't worry. I'm going to Texas for franchise meetings. Don't worry. Next week, I'll probably have a lot to talk about.
I'm sure. The smile won't be there. The glasses will be on, and you'll be telling me how much the judge said that you can't talk about.
Nobody's doing that right now, but that's story for another day. So,
well, I appreciate you, sir, as always. Good mood, bad mood, otherwise, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, and I am looking forward to hearing all about the big trip to Texas.
Sounds good.